Breaking news, breaking news. Everything is alleged under the Fair Use Act. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. YOLANDAREEDER 2295. My YouTube channel. Okay? Subscribe. It's free. Okay, let's get into this story. Everything is alleged under the Fair Use Act. Everything is for educational purposes only. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're going to get into this Angie Stone video. Oh, this is a hot mess, so I don't want to talk too much, so let's get into it. Shout out to Miss Messy Sweet Spots. Let's go.
Right, how you guys doing? What's going on? Get in here, get in here, get in here. When I tell you, we have a show for you guys tonight. We are breaking news. We are giving exclusive. You heard it right. You heard it right. Do y'all smell that? I smell smoke. I smell fire. Honey, we are getting hot to knowing the truth behind Angie Stone. Because you know and I know she didn't die in no van. Okay? She did not die in that van. So what really happened? How did she really die if it wasn't from that car crash that they try to push out here to make us believe that she passed away from the car crash? Bull crap.
Yep, this story gets a lot deeper than what I suspected to. This is a lot of information here. A lot of questions to be asked. It's kind of eerie if you ask me. Real eerie like.
The videos paints a different story. The truck drivers, CRST, paints a different story. What are these truck drivers hiding? Something sinister. And let's not forget about the dark Hollywood in the background. And before I continue on, can you guys hear me? Please press that 3 if you guys can hear me. Okay? All right, please press that 3 if you guys can hear me. Because you guys know, dark Hollywood, Universal, all these individuals, they do not like me being a whistleblower. Okay? Yes. All right, so you guys can hear me. So make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. Okay? We get these likes up so we can get back in the algorithm, all right? Let me take the glasses off so y'all can see me real good. Because we don't have nothing to hide over here. Okay? These truck drivers, unlike some suspect, the family has more to hide. We also have to talk about Alicia Keys. You know you wrong, Alicia. Alicia, I was so surprised when I heard the stuff that you said about Angie Stone. Yes, she was calling her a gorilla. How sick is that? Okay? And it's so much more. Some of the people in the van, the passengers, guess what? They are starting to come out. Yeah.
You know, I heard that the people in the van who was supposed to be in the van, I heard that they had signed a DNA, not DNA, what you call that, where you're not supposed to talk, keep your mouth shut, y'all know what I'm talking about, not DNA, how you say it? Anyway, let's get back.
Spotted one at Tony Braxton's concert.
A non-disclosure, you know what I mean.
Something around his neck, okay? So they are going to come out one by one, 2 by 2 in a mass. And all the truth is going to come out sooner or later, honey, okay? So I have a lot of reports to go here. I'm going to bring Storm up right now. Storm, are you there?
I'm here, yes. How you doing, TJ?
How you doing, Storm? How you doing?
set up with a lieutenant from that area that was involved. And we came to the conclusion that there's certain information that has to wait. But I can tell you some things that are, well, let's just lay out. Let me lay out a scenario that's almost pretty well accurate. The driver of the truck still being investigated. Leakdale still being investigated. Now, the issue is one of the issues are on the truck there's supposed to be tapes, and I cannot find out if that truck had any on it because generally, when they get rid of
Should have a
like supposedly
should
when they
have a black box or something filming on the inside of that truck.
the brakes or whatever, their system starts recording. So I'm waiting on getting that information. And once I get that information, that's going to give us a whole lot of info.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to stay tuned for that info. I do have some reports I want to go over with you all because you guys need to hear this. You guys need to hear this. The truck driver, his name is Jarrett, Jarrett. I don't know if I pronounced your name right, but that's your name. Okay? Wilkinson. Okay? Has yet to have a face public scrutiny or arrest. I want to see that man's face.
They say he missing. That man missing. He got ghost.
Eric, I don't know if you white, black, Chinese, Mexican, it don't even matter. You need to be held accountable. Okay? There are no mug shots, and this is a criminal investigation. A crime has been committed. Somebody has been taken away, which is Angie Stone, alleged. She means a lot to a lot of us, okay? And just because she is a black woman, they're not doing their job. They're not doing what they're supposed to fast enough for my comfort, okay? So there's no mug shots, no arrest records. It's been almost a week. She passed away March the 1st. It's March 13th. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Whew, I let you know the color he is, right? Okay. So there's no mugshot, no arrest records, and no official statement from the law enforcement addressing his actions. Yeah, no, they don't care. That's why it's up to the people to stay on them. We gotta put that pressure on them. And the company, the what do you call that? The CRST, the truck company, y'all didn't issue a statement because they don't want to be held accountable. They're hoping that it would just sweep under the rug. They thought it was just a regular black girl that nobody would care about. Honey, no. Angie Stone got God on her side. And it's up to the people of God to fight for Angie Stone justice. Because Angie Stone, she was a good woman that was fighting the good fight. Okay? So it's up to y'all, us, to figure out and get justice. Do you hear me? The timeline inconsistencies, all right, raise a lot of red flags. It does. The accident was initially reported to have happened at 4 a.m., but later news report changed it to 7 a.m. Now, why are they changing the time of the accident? Let you know it's something freaky going on. It's something suspicious going on. Now, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I think the time that the TOD is what they're reporting at around that 7 a.m. mark. You know what I mean by TOD, right?
I don't.
Time of death.
Time of death. That may be when they called it, and so that's why that time period come up.
But let me get this straight. The car accident happened at 4 o'clock in the morning. I heard news reports that they called at 4:11 a.m.
I
and
heard
then
that.
people came, I guess, around 4:25 on the scene. And you're telling me that was the car crash, and Angie Stone passed away around 7 a.m. Am I getting that right?
That's around about the times that I'm getting, yeah.
Okay. What do you guys make of that? Wow, that's a new discovery. What do you guys make of that? The car crash happened around 4 o'clock in the morning, and Angie passed around 7 a.m. So during those 3 hours, where was the body? What happened? What happened? Okay? What happened to Angie? Family called at 4 o'clock in the morning when the car crash happened, or were they called later on? We have reports of investigators. They said they didn't reach out to them until around 8, 9, or 10 o'clock. Dennis, didn't he say he didn't get a call, 9, 10 o'clock? Or that's when he posted it, but he posted it 15 minutes after he got the info. So around that time.
Well, he couldn't have got the call until after 10.
Okay, well, he said between 19, so maybe 10 a.m. at the night.
Yeah, because remember I pushed him the other day because I knew that he couldn't have gotten that call before because it would have had to have been after 10. I had already known that, and that's why I pushed him. I said around 10. That was what I said to him. So he broke that information, but he was hours late because the information had been broke before that time. So he wasn't the one that released the story. The story had already been released. It's just that the TOD could not be mentioned, and the family or someone, the publicist or someone, contacted him to release that information. But they didn't have the whole story when they released that information to him. They didn't. And when he says, well, after the services, we'll hear from the family. Well, we already know what the family's going to say now. And that could have been said from the beginning so that nobody had come up with these conspiracy theories to confuse the whole situation. Why hide that information? For what reason? And it can't be for insurance purposes. So it doesn't make sense. Now you have a gentleman walk on the stage with a neck brace and says his collarbone is broken that was inside the vehicle. Now if you're popping up at Tony Braxton's show, which they were supposed to perform at, Angie's band is part of the band that Tony Braxton was using. They were using some of the same members, and those members were in that band.
And it's kind of funny.
When Tony did her show,
look, and then for the show, it was kind of funny because all the players were all dressed in black. Already premeditated. Everybody in that band was dressed in black. Who had something, man, this is...
They didn't have full bands on stage to work with. So that means all of this information has been sitting out there the whole time, and everybody's sitting back. And it's not an NBA, because you can't use that for an excuse.
There you go. Non-disclosure. That's what it was. The people in the band had to sign an NDA, non-disclosure. There we go.
Not at all. Not at all. So what's really happening with the investigation with Lethal and the truck driver? That's what we need to focus on right there.
Now, he said lethal. Lethal, that name is Angie Stone's relative. He's the one that was driving the van. His name is Lethal. He's a relative to Angie Stone. And it was said that he ain't had license. He ain't had no driver's license. Why would you let this man, even though he's a relative to Angie, let him drive a vehicle with no license. Make it make sense.
Either push the bell to find out what's going on. Because one of them two jokers, if not both of them jokers, should be in jail.
Exactly. Not one, but the truck driver and Lethal. Let go Lethal, the guy who was driving Angie's van, Angie's cousin. Both you and the truck driver. The truck driver done gone missing.
Point blank, no matter what color they are. Someone's getting away with a crime here.
Exactly.
And I see somebody in chat. They say, hey, I was going to email you. Listen, you can do that, but I prefer you hit that chat, you hit that link at the top of the chat, and you come up here and don't tell me, well, this is, just tell me what's going on. You know, just be a storyteller and tell me versus saying, hey, did you check out such and such video? I don't want to check out such and such video. Just tell me what you saw on the goddamn video. That's how we're going to do that? Okay.
Point blank.
All right.
Because you know, the hound dogs got on the back of this one here, so we know what's happening now. Ain't nothing you can say we don't know.
A witness account surfaced from a woman who claims she pulled Angie Stone from the van.
Yes. It was a white lady. I don't mean to be saying it like that, but it was she was white. She was coming down the freeway and she saw the accident and she got on camera and she had knots on her head and whatever. She said that she pulled over, left her daughter in the car while she came across the freeway. She walked across and she said she helped Angie get out the van and made her sit down on the side, on the grass part. Now, how true that is, allegedly, we're about to find out.
Showed that video yesterday of that woman, okay? She was struck by an 18-wheeler. Whoa, that is...
And the lady said that after she helped Angie get out of the van, the 18-wheeler hit her, knocked her on her ass. Okay, how you still here? If you got hit by a big 18-wheeler, lady, this story is getting deep.
Major. That is major. If that don't sound demonic, and you know they said that 18-wheeler is 666. Think about it. 18, right? 6 times 6, 3 sixes. They said 18. And she said months before, I don't know how many months it was, but months before, that the devil was trying to take her out of here. And
okay.
she got...
I want to go back and hear the part of the lady that's supposed to help her.
When Tony did her show, they didn't have full bands on stage to work with. So that means all of this information has been sitting out there the whole time, and everybody's sitting back. And it's not an NBA, because you can't excuse. Not at all. Not at all. So what's really happening with the investigation with Lee Bell and the truck driver? That's what we need to focus on right there. We need to push the bell to find out what's going on. Because one of them two jokers, if not both of them jokers, should be in jail. Point blank, no matter what color they are. Someone's getting away with a crime here.
And I see somebody in chat. They say, hey, I was going to email you. Listen, you can do that, but I prefer you hit that chat, you hit that link at the top of the chat, and you come up here and don't tell me, well, this is, just tell me what's going on. You know, just be a storyteller and tell me versus saying, hey, did you check out such and such video? I don't want to check out such and such video. Just tell me what you saw on the goddamn video. That's how we're going to do that? Okay.
Point blank.
All right.
Because you know, the hound dogs got on the back of this one here, so we know what's happening now. Ain't nothing you can say we don't know.
A witness account surfaced from a woman who claims she pulled Angie Stone from the van. And I showed that video yesterday of that woman, okay? She was struck by an 18-wheeler. Whoa, that is major. That is major. If that don't sound demonic, and you know they said that 18-wheeler is 666. Think about it. 18, right? 6 times 6, 3 sixes. They said 18. And she said months before, I don't know how many months it was, but months before, that the devil was trying to take her out of here. And she got videos out talking about some she ain't dead yet. You know, they out here calling me a dead girl. So the industry, in my mind, they already had this plan. They wanted to make sure they executed this time. And I don't know if that car crash in the beginning was a part of it, but they made sure they're going to finish with that 18-wheeler. I don't know how they did it. I don't know if that truck driver is compromised. I don't know if they did some voodoo hocus pocus, because you know they said Beyonce's a witch. I don't know. Okay, but they did something. And then if you believe in the spiritual world, then you believe in supernatural things that happen. You know what I'm saying? So, hell, you just never know. People may say, well, what caused the van to crash in the first place? That is a mystery too. What do you guys think? Put it in the comment section. If the van didn't crash into the 18-wheeler, what made that van allegedly flip 3 times? What caused that? Okay? I know people are saying they heard pop, pop, pop. Storm, what do you want to say?
There was an argument in that van.
Tell it.
They were arguing. That's what nobody's on the faces.
Who was arguing?
And Angie.
Sherry were
Oh,
arguing.
Sherry, the girl.
Who is Sherry? Sherry Murphy?
Yes.
Yep. She was the girl on the van, and they say Sherry and Letho been having encounters together. You know what I mean? With the S, you leaving?
All right. I don't know.
What they arguing about? Him driving reckless and too fast. Mind you, this is the same man that I'm supposed to be driving because he have a horrible track record.
Exactly.
Of driving and just a horrible track record of not being accountable and breaking the rules. But y'all say he got saved again. Well, a lot of people get saved again, but they still are on the devil's time. So please dismiss me with all that. But go ahead, Storm.
Yeah. So they were arguing. Now, in the midst of arguing, if you're not paying attention to the road, you're arguing at someone, and then all of a sudden, you hit a ribbon or something on the road, then what happens because the top weight of that spreader is going to cause you to flip, and I believe that's what happened. All right. Now the question is, what was Angie's state at that time? Was she woke? Was she part of the argument? What was it? Every one of you that was in that van, you know exactly
what happened.
What it was.
Exactly.
But if it was a simple argument and an accident took place, why are you not talking? Why are you not saying anything?
And why y'all sign non-disclosures?
And people assume everything. You guys are hiding something. And we want to know what it is. I see on the chat that everyone is cautioning or making statements about the witness. I wouldn't do that. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't think that woman has anything to lie about. And I cannot find any negativity about her. So
I didn't see that, but I want to chime in. So y'all believe that woman is lying? That says she helped Angie Stone out the van?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Press 1 if you feel like that woman is lying. Press 2 you feel like she's telling the truth. So why do you guys think that she's lying? Let's dig into it.
Because first of all, because when I been watching this, I saw the video of the lady, Now, if you was on recording and telling about that you pulled Angie out the van, why you ain't at the hospital? Show us a video of you with your wounds that you went to the hospital. There's nothing to prove that you got hit and that you didn't even go to the hospital. If you say you did, we don't know. But give us proof. Show us a video like you showing us a video of your wounds that the truck knocked you on your ass. Show us a video of you going to the hospital.
I go anywhere you guys take me. Let me know, why do you guys think that she is lying? And the ones that think she's lying, are you a bot? Okay? Were you sent here by Dark Hollywood because you told her to take those videos down because you didn't want the truth to be out there? I have to question everything when it comes to this internet because we know there's a lot of bots out here, right? Right. So, where's the video of the woman speaking? I posted it up. I can bring it up. Do you guys need me to replay that woman speaking? Press 5 if you need me to replay the woman speaking. Press 10 if you already seen it. And you don't
I
need to
already seen it.
Okay? Let's get this clear. And let's get the likes up because you guys are not doing a great job with liking this video. This video is not about me. It's about getting justice for Angie Stone. So if you're here for Angie, like the video. If you're here to tear down Dark Hollywood, like the video. Come on. We need to support each other. Like the video. It's not hard. It's free. All right. So we got some 10s and 5s. And the boss will say anything to put shade on Angie. You know they will. You know they will. Did you hear about that girl, that YouTube girl talking about Angie Stone and sold out? Huh? What's her name? That's
Bella.
We watching you, Belle.
Oh yeah, let me tell you something about that.
Tell it.
You got the audacity. Listen, let me tell you something. Stay dealing with news on your culture. Stay out. You didn't even know who Angie Stone was. And to make such an accusation that she was, oh my God. Lady, are you crazy? You're crazy. Talk about what you read and what you think about. You don't think nothing because you don't know what you're talking about. What you should have done, Bella, was research the information. I wish you could pull that track up, Gigi, and show.
There she go, right here.
Voodoos and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This her right here. This the lady who said that she pulled Angie out the van.
Yeah, well, she don't really do no voodoo. She was a stripper, and no, nothing on strippers. Don't get me wrong.
But maybe she used that voodoo stripping. I don't know. Did she make a lot of money?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this is the woman that says that she took the woman out the van, Angie Stone. So for those that missed it, here it is. I had to dig in the archives. All right, so I'm gonna put myself on mute so you guys can hear her. Okay.
I just got hit by an 18-wheeler on the side of the interstate. I have pieces of the fender in my hair. It's oil all over them. I'll leave my money. I'm gonna clean this up and then get back to all the story and I'll show you the footage.
It's Friday. Time to get to work. Get ready. Wear a suit. I don't have a suit. How late? A movie that's giving human traffickers what they deserve.
I think he's dead.
This is a working man. Rated R. Friday.
Portrait is that every next level demands a different you, and Pretty Global is giving me an opportunity to prepare myself for that next level.
Next. Come on. on.
If you've taken
5,
Uber
4,
since
3,
2019,
2, 1.
you
Let's
need
go.
to
Let's
know
go.
about
Let's
the
go.
overlooked settlement that's changing women's
Let's
financial.
go. Let's go. Damn commercials.
After
Now
driving
look.
6 hours home,
Look at her
showered,
forehead.
and processed
Look at her forehead.
it all. Here's the story. About 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, me and my daughter were driving to Charleston, South Carolina for her sweet 16 birthday getaway. We came up to a truck with a trailer and the flashers were on, so we slowed down some, and that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the fast lane. And it looked like it just happened. I pulled over and put my flashers on, and I told my daughter to stay in the car, and I ran over. It was a van, and I ran over, and there were so many people in this van, and they were just trying to get out, and I asked if they'd call the cops, and they said, we're just trying to get out. And
See
they were
her
helping this
bruise?
woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her
See
hand
it?
and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around, and I said, baby, you've got to sit down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body.
Now, if you got swiped by a big truck moving at a fast speed, why are we looking at you right now?
And I got up, and I could hear screaming, and I just focused in on one screaming, and it was my daughter. And all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back in the car. She had to move the car because if somebody else hit us, it could hit her. So she moved the car farther up the interstate,
Right.
and I called.
I want to hear this again.
Here it is. I have to dig in the archives. All right, so I'm gonna put myself on mute so you guys can hear her. Okay.
I just got hit by an 18-wheeler on the side of the interstate. I have pieces of the fender in my hair. It's oil all over my body. I'm gonna piece up and then get back to tell the story, and I'll show you the footage. After driving the 6 hours home, showering, and processing it all, here's the story. About 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, me and my daughter were driving to.
Whoa, wait. She said after it happened, she drove home and took a shower, and now she's back here, and now she's telling the story. Where's the part of you driving to the hospital? Not you driving home to take a shower to get your ass up here to talk again.
Charleston, South Carolina for her sweet 16 birthday getaway. We came up to a truck with a trailer and the flashers were on, so we slowed down some, and that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the fast lane. And it looked like it just happened. I pulled over and put my flashers on, and I told my daughter to stay in the car, and I ran over. It was a van, and I ran over, and there were so many people in this van, and they were just trying to get out, and I asked if they'd call the cops, and they said, we're just trying to get out. And they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around, and I said, baby, you've got to sit down.
So she was alive.
I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something trying to get out, and I asked if they'd call the cops, and they said, we're just trying to get out. And they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around, and I said, baby, you've got to sit down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body, and I got up, and I could hear screaming, and I just focused in on one screaming, and it was my daughter, and all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back in the car. She had to move the car because if somebody else hit us, it could hit her. So she moved the car farther up the interstate, and I called 911, and they said they were on their way. And then all I could think to do was get to my daughter.
Okay, but you said get to your daughter. You said that you ran across the state to your daughter. If you ran across the freeway to your daughter, why you right there? Why you didn't move the vehicle? Your daughter is 16. What license she have to move a vehicle? Make it make sense. You helped Angie out the van. You heard your daughter scream because you think your daughter saw you get hit by this red truck. So you bounce your ass up. You run across the freeway like you just said to tell your daughter to get back in the car. You right there. You could have moved the car yourself. That don't make sense. She's 16. How's she gonna move a vehicle at the age of, she's 16? She got license?
And that's all I could do in that time when I was walking to my daughter or running the best that I could do. I was in so much pain. My chest felt like an elephant was sitting on it. My legs were so hurt and sore. And I looked up, and there was an 18-wheeler that had crossed the median into the other, into oncoming traffic. And I knew that's what hit me and ran over. And brushed over me was the 18-wheeler. And my daughter's freaking out. She already called my husband by then and my father-in-law. And I just told her we've got to get to the hospital. I can't breathe. It was so hard to breathe. I'm going to post a video of the 18-wheeler after I left the hospital, driving back through to get to my husband and my son. I will not be posting the vehicle in the video because somebody did pass away. They did. And I won't be posting that for respect for their family. I'm sore, I'm bruised on the right side of my body. I'm very stiff everywhere. And I will keep you guys updated. And the video is going to come at the end, okay? Hug your family tight. Hug your family tight. Okay?
Whoa, there it is. So sad. So sad. You know, so that is the truth. So yeah, you guys are saying she's lying. Tell me how she's lying. How can you justify this victim? And how could you say that about a victim? How? How could you? Okay? My goodness. And hell, the people in the van, they know it's true. That's why they're not speaking up against it. You know damn well if she was telling a lie, ain't no way Angie Stone, daughter and son, will allow this lie to continue to grow and create legs. They would shut it down. Ain't no way, if she was lying, that all those people in the van that loved Angie Stone and always was there working for her will allow this lady to create this lie and it create legs. They would dare it. They would say, no, we're not going to do this on our Angie Stone. That's not what happened. Okay? But they didn't do it because they know she's telling the truth. Hello? Just like you all. You so quick to call it was a lie. It ain't a lie. Okay? And if it was a lie, don't you think the daughter and the son and the people in the van would be so quick to call it out just like you?
Okay, but make it make sense. If the lady helped Angie out the van, she was alive. Where's the yellow tape? Where's the police? Where's the ambulance? So if you helped Angie out that van, she was sitting there alive. So what happened? How she wind up dead?
Think. You're not thinking. Okay, so we got another guest. I'm going to get to you in 1 second. I'm looking in the comments. Storm, you got something to say?
Yeah, so what we need people to understand that my point of view, I think that this young lady is a credible witness. Number two, she's a witness on three forefronts. One, she was a victim of the accident herself. Two, she's also a witness against the insurance companies involved. And three, she can contest to the actions of those that was in that van. To what happened.
Now, Kelly, you say they can't talk because they got an NDA. But let me tell you something. I'm about to boom it on you. It don't matter because it's a criminal case. So them NDAs
Because
don't
of
work.
an accident.
Those
NDAs don't
ain't
matter.
about nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
When it's an
And they
accident.
quit with that one because there ain't no NDA.
Exactly.
If anything, I think they being quiet because they trying to get some money. I think the people in that van
Trying to get
working on a
insurance.
money deal. I think they being hushed on some money. Okay? Press 2 if you think it's about that money. That's why they on the hush hush. Press
That's
5
exactly
if you feel like.
what it is.
Press 5 you feel like it ain't got nothing to do about no money. It's about that money, honey. Okay?
That's exactly what it is. Why? They were passengers of the van, right? The van would have to be insured to be moving on the road, right? Now, why would it be so quiet? Because the driver didn't have a driver's license. And if the driver didn't have a driver's license, and that is proven, which it will be, that claim may be jeopardized. So that's why ain't nobody telling the truth. Let's go to the real source. Two reasons they're not telling the truth. They're not telling as to what really happened to Angie, and they ain't telling because they know it's going to mess up that insurance policy claim. Which would leave only one person to possibly receive a claim. Guess who that is?
Who?
The witness.
The lady who helped Angie out the car.
The claim would only pay body injury. At best. Because they had unlicensed drivers, right?
And I thought she was swiped.
Right. So if they had a policy that covered uninsured or unlicensed drivers, then that would change things. But I doubt that seriously on a rental vehicle that they're gonna do that.
Mary says, why did they even initiate an NDA? Why did they even initiate it?
Well, I'm not even gonna say one was initiated because I don't believe that. I don't believe it for one moment because here's the thing. The accident would have had to be investigated that way from the beginning. But here's the situation. Did they lie to law enforcement initially as to say who was the driver? Because at best, on an accident of that nature, it would appear that the driver without a driver's license would receive some kind of infraction. Because they can't claim SR22 insurance from him.
You have to get fined.
So Storm feels like it's not no NDA, okay?
No, ain't no NDA.
Make it up. Now, for me, if it is an NDA, why would they have them sign an NDA? And my mind goes to because a crime has taken place. They knew something sinister was going to happen, and they wanted to cover their tracks. We knew that certain people that was in that van was part of the Hollywood industry. They're saying that some people was even associated with Diddy's sons in that van. What the hell was Angie Stone doing riding with Diddy's son's friends? Make that make sense. And we know how she felt about Diddy, and we know how Diddy felt about her. And we know that the higher-ups, I feel like they still protecting Diddy. He ain't dead yet. They still protecting him, okay? So, and they know that Angie Stone, she was going to start talking. She was working on a documentary to shame and expose them all. And we know when you start talking, they're going to snatch you on out of here. Okay? So, that's, if it is NDA, that's what I believe what happened. That's why they signed it. They already had it all out.
Yeah, but there is no NDA. They probably made an agreement and a promise among themselves. We ain't gonna talk and say nothing until the insurance company investigator talk to us so we can get paid. Remember, let's get to the hard cold facts here. each and every one of them in that van has liable cause to file action to receive money because they were injured.
Right.
Let's tell the truth here. So, that being said, if I know I'm going to get some money, or possibly can get some money from a lawsuit because I was in an accident, I might keep my mouth closed too.
But somebody have died. It changes the game for me. It changes the game for me. Bump all that money.
That's
Bump
why.
all that money. Money ain't everything.
But
You know, all money ain't good money.
That's
And
correct.
y'all got that, hold on. If y'all got that money and you're being quiet and you're not standing up for right, you are a part of a ritual. This was a ritual and blood was spilled and a life was taken. Angie Stone, okay? And hell, that's how I feel about that. Blood sacrifice, yeah, that's blood money. But go ahead, Storm.
Yeah. So the whole thing about it is, if the young fellow was brave enough to walk on the stage with Tony Braxton to show the audience that he's there, okay, you're making a silent statement, sir, a profound silent statement. And that statement is, hey, I was injured real bad, and I'm about to be getting paid. All right. Now that's what's going on there. But let's move it a little. Let's move it a little further. Why would you keep it a secret that she passed away at 10 o'clock? Why would you keep that a secret? And for what reason? Because it could have been said point blank that there was two incidents. One incident is that the vehicle that Angie Stone was in was in an accident. Secondly, Angie Stone was helped out of the vehicle. She was not devised at the accident. But due to her health and conditions that may have happened, she passed away at the hospital. A private ambulance transported her, and at the hospital, the TOD was called. Why couldn't y'all tell that truth?
Because the truth ain't at them, they're lying. I want to know, did you guys want to see that man with the neck brace at Tony Braxton speaking? The guy that was in the crash with Angie Stone. You heard that lady, she said it was multiple people in that van. It was a lot of people. Allegedly, he was one of them. Do you guys want me to play that footage? Press 2 if you want me to play it. Press 4. No, thank you. Comment, let us know. Let's get these likes up. All right, continue on.
Okay, so now, after I made that statement right there, let's get to the brass tacks here. Angie left the scene alive. What happened to her?
Exactly. Didn't I just say that? If that lady helped Angie get out of the van, she was alive. So, at what point was her demise?
Not the scene of that accident. To the time she got to the hospital. Who was with her?
How hard of the impact did the truck hit her? Did it jump her up in the sky? Where is the body? Is the body stood up?
I did not get that part, and I'll tell you why I didn't get it. If that happened,
Wait, let's go back. Let's go back right here.
Secret. And for what reason? Because it could have been said point blank that there were two incidents. One incident is that the vehicle that Angie Stone was in an accident. Secondly, Angie Stone was helped out of the vehicle. She was not devised at the accident. But due to her health and conditions that may have happened, she passed away at the hospital. A private ambulance transported her, and at the hospital, the TOD was called. Why couldn't y'all tell that truth?
Because the truth ain't at them, they're lying. I want to know, did you guys want to see that man with the neck brace at Tony Braxton speaking? The guy that was in the crash with you heard that lady, she said it was multiple people in that van. It was a lot of people. Allegedly, he was one of them. Do you guys want me to play that footage? Press 2 if you want me to play it. Press 4. No, thank you. Comment, let us know. Let's get these likes up. All right, continue on.
Okay, so now, after I made that statement right there, let's get to the brass tacks here. Angie left the scene alive. What happened to her from the time she left the scene of that accident to the time she got to the hospital? Who was with her?
How hard of the impact did the truck hit her? Did it jump her up in the sky? Where is the body? Did the body scoop it up?
I did not get that part, and I'll tell you why I didn't get it. If that happened, if the truck hit Angie, right, that would be a homicide scene.
Exactly. Exactly. Everything would be taped
It was a
off.
homicide investigation at that time.
Crime scene would be
It didn't
taped
become
off.
an investigation until after. Watch this. The coroner's report. That's back
You're
here.
saying she was not hit by the 18-wheeler.
I don't believe she was hit by that T-Well because the protocol for the Alabama State Highway Patrol, they would have to set that up. That would have taken, if she passed at 10, that body would not have been removed until at least one.
Until one of the officers, somebody got
She
there
was hit by
and
18.
take that shit off.
Okay, is she still alive?
As we can see.
Make
Right.
no sense.
So Angie could have been hit by the 18-wheeler. You just don't believe she was hit by the 18-wheeler.
I don't believe the 18. No, I don't believe it.
Okay. Now I want to know from y'all. Do y'all believe Angie was hit by that 18-wheeler? Press 1 if she was. Press 4 if you don't believe it. Okay. So let me play this real quick. All right. Let me put this up here.
He came out anyway and told me I'm gonna come out. We're so grateful that he's here with us, and we're so sorry that we lost one. Angie, such a talent.
Look,
This is how Jane.
this here is supposed to be the guy that was in the van with Angie. He got a neck brace on. Let's see let's go. There he go, right there. Right here. Look at his neck brace.
The injuries.
He's a little slow guy. Give him a hand. He's here.
Let's do this again.
It's real quick. All right. Let me put this up here.
He came out anyway and told me I'm gonna come out. We're so grateful that he's here with us, and we're so sorry that we lost one. Angie, such a talent. This is how Jane.
The injuries.
He's a little slow guy. Give him a hand. He's here. Guys, this is true. My sister. We got the Francis Anderson. We have a new season coming out. My sister Trina came out to help me tonight. She knows it's a little sad, the Angie thing. She said, I'll come and keep you comforted. It's family break. It's like the best thing ever. So I wanted to come up here and just say hi to her and thank her. Will you help me sing Breathe again a little bit? No?
Oh, that's Trina Braxton? That's Trina. Oh, I didn't even recognize her. She done picked up a lot of weight. I didn't know that was Trina.
I love this next song, Angie. She loved this song. Breathe again.
Wow, that is Trina.
Gigi, can I point something out to you? This brother was reported to have heaps. Someone said, or either he said, he has a broken collarbone.
Well, where?
Now,
Where?
if you have a broken collarbone, you're
Where?
not going to be able to bend over and hug nobody.
You got a neck brace
It's
on.
an imposter. That brace is fake.
That's all out of it, man. That he might have got something wrong, but it is normal procedure for whiplash that they put a collar on your neck.
Well, you know they're doing it for that money, and they're Hollywood, they're acting, so I don't put it past them.
Yeah, but he's moving too fluent there.
And it's the reason why he got on the main stage to show. You know, to me, this is showy.
Yeah, but it was a dumb move because any insurance adjuster see that right there, well, no, that he ain't got those injuries. So that was actually a dumb move.
But you know they're fame hungry, so they can't help themselves. I tell y'all.
That's it. Man, you know what? This whole situation is really pissing me off as to how this industry do things like this. There is no way possible looking at that person getting a hug the way he got it, bending down the way he did, so smoothly, so remotely, and come back up with no cane, no support, no nothing but a broken collarbone.
Right.
Tell me you got a broken collarbone and you can do that? Man, ain't that much medication in the world gonna help you survive the pain from that movement there.
And your ass would be at home in
That's
bed,
crazy.
taking care of your ass.
That's a lie from the pit of hell. And these people need to get truthful with the fans. They need to get truthful about this situation. Because they're lying. And they're presenting a bunch of lies. And getting dumb enough to get on the stage so you can see and judge it for yourself. How crazy is that? You were doing fine saying and being out of sight. Now you came out. And now we see the true story. You're lying. Tell the truth. Get the facts out about this situation. Because you're lying. That was the most secondly embarrassing situation of this whole thing, is to see that knucklehead on the stage do that. Why would you do it? Why would you jeopardize you receiving a claim by making such an atrocious move like that with all the cell phone cameras in the world? You don't need a CNN or Fox News to come out. No, the cell phone will bring you out. You hear me? In seconds. It's on the app.
Because if you was broken up like that, your ass would be in the house.
Please, fire bar.
I'm going to do a part 2.
Stop it until I bring her home.